Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Ria. I'm the founder of CrossYoga and the host of this channel. And today I want to offer you a strong core yoga practice. A strong core is really important as it's called the core, the center of what we are. So if we have back issues or our core is not strong enough, we'll often have issues somewhere in our shoulders or our legs or knees or something like that. Before we get started, I'd like to focus on two different things with abs and with core. So first, when we engage the core, we can actually do it quite a lot. Now, try to stand up and then suck your navel in as much as you can. Like you're really trying to make yourself as skinny as possible. You might want to put your fingers in there and maybe underneath the belly fat, you will feel the tightness of the muscles. This is called strength pulling in 5. And then relax your abs. Relaxation, soft belly probably, is 1. So we go in a yoga practice from 1, or not that often in 1 actually, but maybe from 2 to 3 until 5 in our engaging of our core. So if, for example, if we're in planks, we will use number 5, really engaging the core. Whereas when we stand in Warrior 1 or something else, probably on the level of 3, in between an engaged core, but not like heavily sucked in, okay? Because that makes it hard to breathe. The second thing is that you can engage your muscles in 2 different ways. So you can engage your muscles, especially if you can also try this as you lay down, in the way that you kind of pull your belly a little bit out. Now I engage my core. And I actually use my root lock as well. But I'm kind of making a bigger belly, but my muscles are kind of, it feels like they're tightened a little bit. So what we want to do is try to have that flat tension in our belly. So we engage our core like in. So it will be more a flat tension. It will be more obvious on the mat where we tend to do it wrong. So just these 2 very short things, and then let's get started on the mat standing today. So get hip width distance in between your feet. Stand tall. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders. And this is Christ-centered yoga. So I'll just begin with a prayer. Maybe you throw your arms out to the side. Why not? So Christ, thank you so much for being with us on the mat. In every pose, in everything, may you be our core, our foundation. May your values and your life be what we live in and what we trust in. And maybe you need to pray something in your own heart. You can gather your palms in front of you. And then open your eyes. We're going to engage the Ujjayi Breath. And it's a way that we inhale and exhale through the nose, the nostrils. If you can't do that, you can certainly use your mouth as well. But we want to try to go with our nose as much as possible. On the exhale, we have this snoring sound. I turned that sound up a little bit so you can hear it. Now to get that, you might want to try to picture this is a mirror or a window, and you're kind of fogging into it. And you need to clean it, or glasses or whatever, right? So that sound, or that exercise, try it. Maybe you have bad breath, but try to get that going. This is what we do with the Ujjayi breath. We just do it with our mouth closed. So try to get that going with your nose. Yeah, in the beginning, for me, it was a little bit hard, but when you get it, it's really cool. And the purpose here is engaging our core, because when we exhale, we put a little bit of resistance on the exhale, and that means that we have to use our abs a little bit more on each and every exhale. equals more course training. Yay. Okay, get to the top end of your mat and let's just jump right into it. Take your arms above your head, take a huge inhale, and exhale as you lean forward. Now bend your knees, we're just warming up ever so gently, and sway from side to side. Relax your head and your neck. And then come into your chair pose, bending your knees, throwing your hands to the front, and here also engaging the core on a level 3 versus 4. Take a huge inhale, lift up, throw out your arms to the side, open up your chest, leaning a little bit back, we're still warming up. Inhale, hands towards the sky, come into your forward fold and engage your core as you extend forward. Again, bend your knees, chair pose. And let's do this with the rhythm of our breath. Take an inhale and use your Ujjayi breath as you do your small back bend, arms out to the side. Inhale, mountain, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale as you move into your chair. And exhale as you stay in your chair. And again, inhale, straighten up. And exhale, arms out. Close your eyes, maybe inhale, arms towards the sky. Forward fold, exhale. Moving into your chair, inhale. Stay in your chair, exhale. And a few more times, you can do it on your own. Arms up. Forward fold. Sink low in your chair. One last time through. And when you get into your mountain pose, next time take your arms down by your side. Sun salutation, B, inhale, take your arms up and sit down low in your chair. Then move forward in your forward fold. Half lift. You can choose either take your hands on here on the floor or half lift up. And on your exhale, if you jump back, try to get into your low plank immediately so you don't land in your plank like this with straightened arms. Lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Maybe you move your feet a little bit closer, whatever you need. And I'll do a little bit of slower version that we maybe are used to in sun salutation B. Lift your right leg, inhale. On your exhale, move it to the front end of your mat. Warrior 1, so back foot 45 degrees up. Out to the side and lift up in your Warrior 1. Again, engage your core and remember your Ujjayi breath. Your next inhale, prepare yourself getting back into your plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your chest. Get your shoulders back and downward facing dog as you exhale. Again, option of just taking a breath and settling in your down dog. Left leg, lift it up and move it to the front of your mat as you exhale. Lowering the back foot, look forward. Inhale, lift your arms up and just stay here for a breath. I guess this is the first time we're here. Next exhale, move it back. Make sure you lift the back heel before you try any version of lowering down. Lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. If you jump, lift your heels, look forward and gently jump like you're doing it quietly. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. And exhale, mountain pose. Sorry, that was a chair pose there. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank to low plank. Lift your chest, cobra, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, move it to the front. Just one inhale to lift up. And next exhale, move again into your plank and lower down. Long exhale, still Ujjayi Breath. Chest lifts, inhale. And exhale, down dog. Left leg, inhale, lift it up. Bend your knees and tuck your feet in between your hands. Inhale, warrior one. And exhale, again, plank to low plank. Chaturanga. Cobra up dog, inhale. And down dog. Exhale, take one breath in your down dog. Jump and walk again to the front end of your mat. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. And now the chair, inhale. And mountain, exhale. Take one breath before we repeat. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower down. Resist the opportunity or the urge to move very fast. Try to move and pace of the breath. When you're in down dog, lift your right leg up. Move it to the front end of your mat. Lower the back foot. Warrior one as you inhale. And again, lower down. Smile to yourself. Engage your core here. 5. You engage your core in 5 as you lower down. Lift. And down dog. Getting warm. Left leg lifts up. Bend it or move it to the front end of your mat. Warrior one. And sink low. Long exhale. Lift your chest. Downward facing dog. Again, breathe. Lower your heels. Move your belly towards your thighs. Look forward. Jump or walk. Forward fold. Exhale. Chair pose, inhale, and mountain pose. Catch your breath. If you have a block nearby, this is really cool to use in our practice today. We'll get into our first core training, and using a block is really helpful. Because besides using our core, we will strengthen our arms and shoulders. So you can take a block or a book or something like that. Gonna put it here in between our hands and lift it above our head. Now we don't want to tuck our shoulders in and pull our elbows in here. We want to have some distance in between our elbows. So we really can pull like we're trying to squeeze the block shorter than it is. And then navel in, engage your core, engage your root lock, your pelvis floor. And then move to your right side. Now, please avoid this and going too low if you have any lower back issues. All right, let's try to move from side to side. You can follow the rhythm of your breath or just move. Now, I can actually do this side bend without engaging my core that much, but it's not beneficial for me and it might cause an injury. So really get that navel going towards the spine and keep squeezing the block. Your arms might start shaking. Almost there. One more time to each side. Come on, squeeze the block and go low. Engage your core just one last time to each side. Awesome. You can put your block down somewhere beside you. Take an inhale, throw your arms above your head. Palms together and fold forward. Let your fingers reach the floor. Step your right foot back. Crescent Lunge. So lower down the front knee, look forward and lift up. Now we really want to go for tucking our pelvis underneath ourselves this time and engaging our core. This will be on a level 3 to 4 engagement in our core. So stay. And especially stay as we take our arms behind us. Move your shoulder blades back. A strong core is also strong shoulders. And lean forward. Now you might not be used to engaging your core as much as you lean forward, but try really to do it this time. And then you can play, if you like, with your arms. So on the inhale, take your arms to the front. And on your exhale, move them back. 3 times. Lift through the arch of the foot. Keep engaging your whole body. Beautiful. Next time, take your arms above your head. Pivot the back foot around, warrior 2. I like my heels aligned. And the front foot aligned with the long end of the mat. Arms out. The root lock is really important to get involved here, so squeeze together and get your Ujjayi breath going. You feel that? Right, triangle pose. Straighten the front leg, make your hip push a little bit back, and then walk your front hand down to your knee or your calves or whatever works. Now you can go with that hand above your head, just directly above your shoulder. If you want more core engagement, look down. Make sure your root lock is engaged. Shoulders actually somewhat aligned with your knee. And then lift that hand from the foot to the front. Now this is hard, I think. Keep breathing. Maybe looking down. And remember, we don't want any pain. Beautiful. Let's go down into our plank pose and chaturanga down to your plank, lower plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Side it out. Then take your right leg and lift it up. Throw it underneath yourself. Take your chin towards your chest. Keep it there for 3. Navel in. Come on. 2. And 1. Throw it back. Keep it lifted. 3-legged dog. Ujjayi breath going. And then step it through to the front end of your mat. Looking forward. Finding our Crescent Lunge at least for a second. And then try to engage your core. Put a little bit of weight to the front end of your foot and scooch that back foot a little bit closer. Lift your, if you can, your right leg up to the front and move it out to the side. You can take your left hand on your knee. Stay as tall, as strong as you can. Engaging the whole foot. Still engaging the Ujjayi breath. And then your knee to the front end of your mat and lower down. Beautiful. You still with me? Again, take your hands above your head and come into your forward fold. Lift your left leg and move it to the back end of your mat. Crescent lunge. Once again, let your knee and ankle above each other. Look to the front end of your mat, a few meters or whatever measures you're going with. As we did before, get that navel in, pelvis underneath yourself. And even though your core is engaged, try not to engage your shoulders and everything. We want to select what we're engaging here. Take your arms down by your side. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, so an external rotation a little bit, and then lean forward. Navel in, and keep breathing. And yet again, throw our arms to the front end of our mat. Move it back. You're doing good. Come on, 2 more times. And next time, rise up, Crescent Lunge. Pivot the back foot into your Warrior 2. Get some distance in between your legs. And sink down. Arms go wide. Maybe spread your fingers. Notice your engagement of your core. What would be your kind of default engagement in your Warrior 2? You need to move that back shoulder a little bit further back so that your shoulders are somewhat aligned with your heels. Getting ready for triangle pose. So extend the front leg, move your hip a little bit back, and then lean forward. Again, not trying to go as low as you can. Instead, the focus in our core. So root lock engaged. And if you want, as we did before, maybe take that hand off the thigh and put it to the front so you have somewhat 90-degree angles in your arms. And stay with your breath. Come on, 2 more breaths. Awesome. Awesome. Release. And let go. Step it back. Downward facing dog, and maybe walk your feet a little bit out. Take your left leg and lift it up towards the sky. Fingers, knuckles on the floor. Huge inhale, and on your next inhale, chin towards your chest, knee underneath your belly, plank, and hyper 5 or 6 engagement in your core here. Micro bend your elbows and breathe. You can do this. One last breath. Beautiful. Put your left leg back up towards the sky and then step it to the front end of your mat. Crescent lunge again, just for a brief moment. Preparing ourselves to get into a balanced pose. So step that back foot a little bit closer, making sure all corners of the foot are engaged, toes spread out like a fan. And then slowly see if you can keep your balance. Right knee to the front and then extend it out to the side, opening up your hip. Again, stand tall. Two more breaths. Do you feel the Ujjayi breath engaging core? And move your leg to the front of the mat. And release. Awesome. Catch your breath. Gonna go lower on our mat and to do more classical, a little bit of fitness, strength as well, mixed with yoga. But first, more balance. Come into your small chair, somewhat. Again, navel in, and then take your right leg and move it on top of the other. We're going into eagle pose. Wrap your foot around if you can, or just wrap it one way around. Try to close your hip, squeeze your inner thighs together. Now, right elbow underneath, left elbow on top, hands around and sink low. Again, your core here is engaged on a level of 3, I would suggest. Lift your elbows away from your chest and your hands away from your head. slowly release. See if you can keep your balance. Welcome to do that. If you need to reset and just shake a little bit, go for that. Try to throw your foot back, warrior three. And this is really a core exercise as well. Lots of balance. Lift that back foot, straighten it out, and maybe take your hands to the front if this is too much. Arms out to the side and do your airplane. Keep breathing. This is level 4 engagement in the core. One last breath. And let your fingers reach the floor so you don't fall as you move your feet to the front end of your mat. Relax in a forward fold. Lower down your knees a little bit. Chair pose. These two poses the other side before we move to the lower level of the mat. All right, bend your knees. Left leg moves on top. 1 or 2 ways around. Squeeze together. Left elbow underneath. Gaze looks somewhere in front of you. Relax your shoulders in the sense that you won't pull them towards your ears. And keep your Ujjayi breath going. One last breath. Let's release. Again, reset if you need to shake some tiredness out. If not, move your left leg back. Warrior three. Taking your time. Closing your hip. Navel in. Straighten both legs. You are doing such a good job here. It's hard to be here. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Fingers down on the ground. And lower down. Find child's pose. Take your arms down by your side or by your feet. And relax just for a second. Take a sip of water if you're getting thirsty. All right, resting time's over. More really into the core. We're gonna use our elbows for a plank, so I would suggest you take a blanket or fold your mat 1 or 2 times to support your elbows a little bit. Feet back, and if this becomes too much at any point, you're always welcome to lower down your knees. This will be more helpful or less hard. Now our typical plank pose will be with the hip. You can take a look underneath yourself. Hips somewhat aligned with your shoulders. Now we broaden our shoulders really much so we don't sink low. You can even try to go for that. Sink low. We don't want to sink. We want to extend. But then lift your hip a little bit up. The place where I said to you, don't go. But not right now, we go there. And then down to neutral. And then lower your hip a little bit down. Now, I can't breathe normally here because this is hard, but try to breathe as much as you can. And of course, we are on engagement level 5 in our abs. Come on. But still breathe. Move slowly up and down, just a few more times. Come on, smile and keep going. I know this is hard. Beautiful. Next time, relax. Maybe come up onto all fours and move your spine towards the ceiling. But core exercises are the king and queen of plank exercises, are the king and queen of core training. And I take again your block, or maybe just a bottle of water, that will work as well. Put it here in between your arms. Just get a little bit of resistance and a little bit of strength in your shoulders. Lean back If you have lower back issues, I would just suggest you come down on your belly and maybe do stuff like this very, very slowly. But if you don't, we're gonna row the boat. So lean back, also called Russian twists. If you want to make it more advanced, lift the heels off the ground and go from side to side. Avoid moving your legs a whole lot. And navel, guess where? Towards the spine. Let's take 6. Squeeze your block or bottle. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And all the way down. Awesome. This was more the, the muscles coming from a different side, from the sides of our abs here. We're gonna move in directly into our 6 packs and our lower abs. So take a block, or again, bottle, whatever, in between your legs, squeeze it. Take your knees directly above your hip, hands down on the mat, and then with your lower back glued to the mat, lower down your feet towards the ground, just a little bit. It's a small movement, but it's powerful. Even though I would say that I'm pretty strong in my core, this is really hard. This small movement. It's not hard if I arch my back like that. Okay? And this is where we want to go with that flat extension as well. So navel in, not squeezing your abs in a way that makes your belly go like a small mountain. And this is also an exercise that will go into our hip flexors. So you might feel that as well. If you need to relax there, take a break and come back for the last. Let's go for 5 more. So if you follow my pace, 5, 4, 3, come on, abs in, 2, last and most beautiful one. Relax. Maybe windshield your legs from side to side. And now we're gonna play male, man and woman. What do I mean? Opposed man and woman. You can take again your block in between your legs, not doing exactly the same. Like right now your hands and blocks and knees are together, but then you open up. Open up like this. Either just take your feet a little bit down or go all the way again. Lower back glued to the mat. Take your arms up again, squeezing together, and then take the block. Move your hands above your head, feet again, down towards the ground. So you're doing exactly the same thing with your arms and your legs, but you just deliver a post from your arms to your knees. Now the back of your head is on the mat. Avoid the feeling of having to look back, because that will just put not very nice stretch or strength in your lower or your neck there. So try to have a little bit of a tennis ball distance between your chin and your chest. And don't give up on this male delivery. Keep moving. Almost there. We're gonna go into our back in just a minute. Two more times. You can do it. Come on. Abs in. And of course, make the movement smaller if it's just way too hard. Beautiful. Now you can let go of that block. We are gonna move onto our bellies as core training is not only abs. We don't want to have a really strong, tight core and a weak back. That will just wreck our postures and the health of our body, actually. Forehead on the ground and hands down here by your side. Try to take your toes together. And then lift your legs off the ground. Maybe forehead is still on the ground. Stay here. Squeeze those toes together. And if you want more, you can lift your head as well, but you don't have to. Keep breathing, keep lifting. Awesome. Let's relax. Take a breath or two. Now get somewhat hip distance between your feet, like the normal distance you would do if you do a back bend like this. And then lift your legs up. Again, the option of having your forehead on the ground or lifting up, and maybe take your arms up as well, palms towards the heaven. You can use your Ujjayi breath still. How does this feel different than taking your toes together? And relax. Now we're going to go into our third option of back bend. Get more distance in between your feet. So go wide if you have the option of doing that. All right, forehead on the ground, trying to avoid any hyper things going on in your neck. And then pubic bone on the floor and lift your legs up. Go wide. Now, where do you feel this? Probably more in the outer glutes. Lift up your head, your arms, if you feel like it today. And even engaging your core if it's possible. Being here. Stay here for the count of 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Stack your hands, forehead on your hands. Relax. Almost there. Get back on your spine. One last exercise. If you have, again, lower back issues, this is a hard one for a lower back. If you have any issues there, you might want to go for your bicycle move. Okay? So this is an option if you have lower back issues. If not, take your hands out to the side like you're holding the ground, and actually you are. Bend your knees, 90-degree angle knee in, again, and hip above each other. And then move your leg out to one side, coming out on the side of your hip. Maybe not going as low as you can the first time, just to notice everything's okay. And engaging your core. I'm saying that a lot, but we can tend to forget it. Again, level 5, especially when you pull your legs back. And that's it. Just move your legs. If you want more, you can try to extend your legs a little bit. Now you put the weight a little bit further away from the body, and this will make it harder. And I would not suggest that you come all the way down so that your legs actually reach the floor. This might be a little bit too much. Go slowly, with the focus on what is going on in your abs right now. Maybe praying for some strength, but also knowing that you might be able to do a few more. All right, let's take one more to each side and wrap up our class. Beautiful. Feet on the ground and relax. I would suggest that you take your knees to your chest and move a little bit from side to side. massaging your spine. On the mat, and as we do exercises, and maybe you have belly fat that you really would like to move or get rid of, but there's no easy way. There's no million app exercises that will help you just to get rid of this, because we can't just get rid of belly fat. It's an all over lowering fat exercises you have to get to lower the belly fat. I'm sorry. But this is how it's all going about. And this is also why when I do this, that we go through standing poses, we do balance and all that, because that will strengthen the whole body, and you will really, that will benefit losing belly fat. Maybe even, I'm a little bit scared to say this, but maybe even more than just doing a million ab exercises. Let's take your feet out to the ground and not too close to your hip, because we're going to move into a windshield, and just leave our legs there for a short moment. So try to relax. You will probably feel it stretch here through your lower back. And I can't help but think that as it is hard to lose belly fat for some of us, not that we have to, but it's just a hard thing to do. Sometimes walking or developing your spiritual life is also hard. It's not all the walk in the park, right? Sometimes we need to say, yes, I will sit down. I will choose to read my Bible. I will choose to pray, even though I really don't feel like it. Let's move our legs to the other side. Just as well as you might choose to do exercise like this today, another one of my channels, even though you might not feel like it, you know it's good for you. And the same with self-discipline in spiritual life. Choose God and choose the core, your foundation, also when you don't feel like it. I'm all for listening to feelings, it's not that, but sometimes we get so comfortable that we forget to strengthen that muscle that is called self-discipline. All right, come back. And now is our time to rest. So get comfortable. Take your feet out to the side, hands down on the mat, on the floor, palms facing up. Inhale and relax. Right now, we are on 0 or 1 engagement in our core. Only relaxing right now. Deep breaths. And stay with me just for 1 minute on the mat. It's time to move fingers and toes and all that again. Now you're more than welcome to stay down on your mat. Remember, if you're interested again in losing fat, stressing down, sleeping enough, I would say is number 3 in living healthy. eating healthy, exercising, sleeping. Thank you so much for joining me today, and may God's peace stay in your body, soul, and mind. Thank you so much for joining, subscribing, and liking, and all that. That's so appreciated.